Cowabunga party dudes! After looking at Leo last video, now it's time to check out the Mezco Toys Michelangelo. If you haven't checked it out yet, I just posted a Leonardo review of my series of individual brothers from the Mezco Toys 112 Collective Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. Thank you to everybody that checked out my Leonardo review. For the purposes of Michelangelo, anything that was shared between both brothers will be mentioned, but I'm going to encourage you to go check out more of the in-depth portions of those accessories in the Leonardo review. But now, it's a time for everyone's favorite party boy. And look, oh my, just look at this head sculpt. Look at it. I mean, come on. Again, what a wonderful set. Now, I started with Leonardo because he is my favorite turtle, but of course, I love all of them. I asked one of my close turtle buddies, JShot _820 from Between Two Sentinels, to give us a little taste as to why Michelangelo might be someone else's favorite turtle.
See this? This is my favorite. Yimbo wants a video about why this guy could be my favorite. Well, this guy, he's the light. He keeps everybody going. And even in the darkest hour, he finds the happy. There's something special about him too. But he's the best.
So you already know I have a lot of variants ready to compare to the look of this party animal. But first, let's check out his two alternate heads. I absolutely adore this smiling face. I mean, this one is stellar, absolutely stellar. And then you have the third one, which is based on the original Playmates toys, just like Leo. Fantastic head sculpts all around. I mean, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Just to give you a little bit closer detail, here we go. He only has the belt, which is something that I'm going to be getting into because I know that some people, including myself, have had some minor frustrations with it, but I'm gonna be sharing with you what I did in order to really help keep that up and locked in, that it could fall down or slides down. I was having that problem, but I'm touching it, and before it would just fall down. You know, he had the kind of pants down like, oh, face. But it's not at this moment. So if you don't know already, there are elastic bands inside the belt to help it stay up. But what happens is, because of all this fantastic texture and ridging and just the cuts, the scrapes, the chips, that elastic band will get caught on there. So while the front has no problem and will slide up to that front line, the back typically sags and then falls down. That's because it's getting caught down in here on these side pieces. So all I did was very slowly and very carefully, again with Mezcos, take your time with any type of things like this, and you have to work that up and over. And once you get it over the hump, I kept the front part over that bottom line as opposed to on it. And then I was able to even it out. And I'm no longer having that frustration with it sliding down. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be perfect forever. I'm just telling you that I can now move him around and it's not just sliding down on me like it was out of the package, out of the box. But that works really well. I talked to my fellow Toy Daddy No Chewing, and he suggested maybe using some blue tack behind this if you're still having trouble. Eventually, I could see gluing it, but also he works kind of as a naked turtle too. So I don't know if I would want to ever permanently make that choice. But I'm telling you, right here, just working the elastic band, it gets caught on the ridges. It's no big deal. Patience. Just like with Leo and working the katanas, the sheaths through his back holster, I would definitely just take it slow. You will get there and then you won't have any issues. So outside of minor differences to Leo, there's shades of coloring, whether it's the straps, whether it's the shade of green, even sizes vary between the brothers in this set, which I really love. If you want to see all of specific comparisons in that regard, then I suggest checking out D Amazing's review. But for this, let's get into how this Mikey compares to all of the different ones that I own from, well, really, it's going to be Super7 and NECA. So, first up, spoiler alert, after all this time, I'm doing it. The Last Ronin. Yup, that's a Mikey. So, love this guy. You can see the height difference. That is a big beefy boy compared to this version of Michelangelo. But that's the shirtless plastic meat version. Then you have obviously the armored. Again, still Mikey there. Love that. Really do enjoy both versions of that figure, although the Last Ronin Raphael does take the cake in terms of articulation from this line. Then we have the Super7 Mikey. And like I mentioned in my Leonardo review, I really, really dig these alternate head sculpts. This is a very fun toy line as well, but there you go. He is also a bigger, beefy boy comparatively to the Mezco. Getting back into NECA, that is the Secret of the Ooze Michelangelo. Love that facial expression as well. Just looks so good. But again, you can see, this is more of a diminutive Mikey, which makes sense because in those versions where there are height differentials, he is typically the smallest of the crew. Getting into the cartoons. Oh man, I love this. Turtle in disguise, Michelangelo. This is how I basically leave him up for my shelf display, and I love doing little silly story posts with this version. It's spectacular. The book bag came from the toddler accessory set, but yeah, there he is compared to that. So again, a little bit closer in the height range in terms of scaling. Sticking with tunes, now going into the Mirage world, we have Wanderer Michelangelo. This gnarly beast is once again really fun, excellent. I loved the Mirage set so much that when they announced this, I just scooped him up without even realizing or reading the comic. I just thought he was really cool and he was going to have all this updated articulation, and I wanted to have him. And yeah, he is gnarly and awesome. But no one's really matched his shade of green yet, and I don't think that's going to be the case. And that's just such a cool thing about Mezco. They really did their own thing. And lastly, up until now, my current favorite Michelangelo to mess with in terms of posing and just playing is this Michelangelo. I love it so much. Love this set. There you go. This Mezco Mikey, he is the smallest out of all of these 112-ish Ninja Turtle figures I have. But he looks great. I love all of these versions of Michelangelo. And yeah, I just wanted to give you something to look at, but I really, 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 really dig this interpretation of the look of this character. I brought some other friends in for comparison as well. I've been looking forward to seeing how these two look together. The movie version of Splinter from NECA. A little bit shorter than Mikey. I think that would play just due to the realism and the grimy grittiness of this version of the character. I think that would work pretty well with that look. Here's Toon Splinter. Man, I think that kind of plays too. How about that? That looks pretty good, not gonna lie. But out of the Splinters I have, I think the best for these guys is the Mirage. Any of the Mirage figures seem to work so well with these Mezco figures. Oh, I love them. So yeah, this Mirage, tiny little Splinter, I think this is going to be daddy for my Mezco Turtles. But I don't know, maybe that movie one too. But I think this might be the best version. I love it. In addition, let's see about some crossing the universes. So here is the last Ronin Sinja. Good height differential there. You'd expect him to be bigger, but yeah, why not? That works. Here's a classic foot soldier from the cartoons. I still think that works too. I don't know how Mezco pulled it off, but man, oh man, I really think that these brothers, these version, they just fit with everybody. It's really nice when you think about it, because as a collector, I'm trying to get back more into a collecting mindset as opposed to buying everything for toy photography. As nice as it would be to be able to army build everything per universe, I have now a pretty decent army of foot soldiers across the Mirage, Toon, and movie lines. And yeah, I think they're all just gonna be fine. They're all fine with these Mezco turtles. So as you're seeing, all of these different lines seem to work really well with the Mezco figures. But for my eyeballs, the most aesthetically pleasing of the batch are anything from Mirage. I think the Mirage figures work the best with the Mezco, just based on the griminess and grittiness of these versions. But it's so neat that you have so many more options for how you want to set up your photos, how you want to set up your shelf display. They play with everybody. They really do play with everyone. So Mikey, two of the coolest ones on his side of the tray that he came with are this Walkman and headphones. That Walkman, that is straight up my childhood. I had one of those yellow ones. I think my dad had one of those yellow cassette tape player Walkman, you know, from back in the 90s. I think that looks so awesome. And these headphones, you know, they're not going to fit on Vapor, but you know what? Vapor's headphones wouldn't fit on Mikey's head. So these are perfect for him. And then just like I showed you the slice of za, that New York style pizza from Leonardo, there's Leo's. Mikey comes with this, and look at that awesome melted drip. Oh, that is spectacular for chewy, big bite type photos. For my fellow toy photographers out there, that is just spectacular. Nice, soft. Oh, that is really, really well done. So yeah, so right out of the package, he has those two. Mikey also then comes with these two hands that you see here, as well as 4 other sets. So a combined total of 10 individual hands. There are also, for Mikey, you have the grappling hook, which I really kind of marked out for in a crazy way in the Leonardo video, because I hadn't realized that these things open like that with the mechanical piece to it. So the turtle comp and the grappling hook, so excellent. And that really rounds out Mikey's tray, because again, Mikey and Leonardo share accessories. So like these throwing stars could go for both of them. But that's it in terms of what comes with Mikey and Leo on the tray. Again, if you want to see the rest of the accessories, go check out that Leonardo review. 2 other accessories that I guess could have fallen into the look category are this classic Mezco wired tattered shawl, cowl, not cowl, cloak, cape, scarf, not cape. I guess it's just more of a tattered blanket. This I've had from Gomez, the Golden Clan. I also have a red version from Bishop. So this is a very standard piece of Mezco soft goods that they will include for different characters. So yeah, that can wrap around. It's not my favorite thing, but again, nice and wired, so it could be interesting if we take the headphones off here. You know, again, it's wired. You could do all sorts of stuff with it. There's no set directions. And you can kind of get some interesting things going on with it. But really, the thing that I was most excited about in the second tray with the rest of Mikey's accessories is the soft goods hoodie. This thing is so amazing. I love it. This is where Mezco shines. That's where they hooked me with all of their little zippers, and it is dull clothes and I don't care. I mean, it's just so amazing. I love it. Vapor got me with all his jackets, and Cyclops in his brown leather jacket, and the list goes on and on and on. If you have trouble like I currently am with the zipper, I'm going to tell you, take your time, be patient. I didn't have to go super crazy, but it did take a little bit of extra just to really get down there. But you really do want to be careful, and it is tough. These are working zippers, but yeah, like it's a tiny little thing to grab onto. But it's so cool that that works. That was one of the things that really did hook me when I first got into Mezco. But yeah, this is really, really cool. Look at this guy. So happy. Look at that drip. Look at that fresh drip. Oh, how cute. Look at this color scheme. That neon safety green with some neon orange. The drippiest of drippy drip. Yeah, that's Mikey right there. Super awesome. And as I mentioned in the Leo video, each brother comes with his own tray of specific weapon accessories. I cannot tell you how hyped I am for this spinning chucks right there. But real quick, I was warned that Mikey's tiny little throwing stars are a pain, so I'm gonna have to be very careful when I go looking for that. But check that out, the old school pizza slice dagger that used to come with all of the old Playmates toys, sort of. That's just a really cool looking thing right there. I love that. Here is one of those tiny, look at that, is ridiculous. That is so small. I do love that Mezco goes to this level of minutia for details, but it does add to my toy anxiety because that's just looking to be lost. I remember feeling the same way with the 89 Keaton Batman with the gas pellets or the remote control. I'm like, whoa, just please don't, just stay in the box forever and ever. Like, I do feel like I might never shoot this thing because it's gonna be such a pain to get in his hands, and I don't know. But that is so tiny. So there's 3 of those. And then we have one of the chucks to go port in. Oh yeah, there we go. So that just ports in there, and yes, that looks amazing. And the funny thing is, I was just thinking about making my own set because I don't have this for nunchucks. I have it for Mjolnir, but not with nunchucks. My Toon Mikey, because it was from the Turtles in Disguise, he didn't come with the spinning chucks like he did with the 4-pack that didn't come with the disguises. And oh yeah, that works beautifully. So this is going to be able to work across all iterations. There we go with Movie Mikey and Mirage Mikey. So yeah, they work, they play, excellent. The beauty is he does come with 2 sets, which is fantastic. He also comes with the little belt clip holster for the grappling hook. This old school style weapon, which I definitely have other versions of this in toy form lying around my house. And then something that I was so happy Mezco started doing with Conan the Conqueror is adding wired chains to their weapon accessories. So on Conan, he came with a ball and chain mace, 2 versions of it. One that just hung down and then one with the wired chain, and that makes such a huge difference. I was so happy that when they started doing that, and to now give us nunchucks with wire in it. That is wonderful for all the toy photography and posing, all the things that I talk about. That is excellent. That is fantastic. But rather than give you the whole breakdown as I showed you in the Leo video, I really just wanted to highlight, again, a potential issue. It's just something to be aware of because these are really fun figures to play with. But I noticed something as I was moving him around last night. I had rotated his shell to try to get some extra articulation, as was suggested by D Amazing. And sadly, I realized that there's a potential here for this glue to become undone, and the shell, the front shell, can pull away from this side. It's only happening on Mikey in this one spot. I've only messed with Leo and Mikey up until now, but when I saw that there's a tiny bit of separation, I freaked out. No big deal. I'm going to add a dab of plastic surgery. That is my super glue of choice for action figures. That stuff works so well. It literally fixed a katana that snapped off at the hilt on my Mezco Deadpool. So yeah, I'm gonna just put a little dab in there. I'm gonna put a link to the glue in the description to this video below if you are interested. But yeah, I love that stuff, and I'm just gonna put a little dab in now to proactively keep that piece together. And then I don't think it's gonna be too much of an issue, but it's just something to think about. These are Mezco toys. As much as I love these guys and I wanna play with them all the time and everywhere, these aren't pocket figures. They are still basically works of art and they have their aspects of fragility that you do want to be careful with. So that was just a little stark reminder that these guys are only going to stay in my basement and dios. But I just wanted you to be aware. And again, plastic surgery, link in the description. So out of all of my Michelangelos, is the Mezco Turtle my favorite? Well, he is the latest and he is the greatest. He is so amazing. I do love him for all of the accessories. See, he works well with or without the belt, and the soft goods and just the articulation, everything, even with that, little issue there, no big deal. I love this set of turtles. The ensuing reviews of Donatello and Raphael will be in this style, where anything that was covered in that initial Leo video. And for the Donnie and Raphael, I'm going to do the same thing as I did anything that was covered in depth in my Leo review. We'll just kind of get touched on here. But I really appreciate you taking the time to check out this video. I know the hype is at an all-time high for these guys, and I'm there in it, and they're spectacular, and I am going to continue playing and photographing these guys for many weeks and months to come. That's all I keep going back to. These are bodacious, these are radical, these are some cowabunga turtle power type of turtles. And yes, I love them very much. So thanks for checking out the video, and just wanted to remind you that every Sunday night I go live to talk about life and toys at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I hope to see you in the chat one of these days, and in the meantime, I hope you have a great rest of yours. Peace.